What up, beloved friends? Welcome back, and thank you for sticking around. All 300 of you. Damn, I love you. I love you so much, baby. I'm your graphics rogue, and we are back today with another Rome 2 online battle. I am playing as Rome, and my enemy is playing as Carthage, the age-old battle of the ages. It's very, very agely. So, okay, my initial thoughts coming into this battle. See, I brought a couple of avocado cohorts, some legionary cohorts. This was the main battle line, and one Praetorian guard to round things out. I brought 3 Syrian archers. I brought about a couple of gladiator spearmen, some spear gladiators. I brought a Praetorian cav, some auxiliary Numidian cav, and I got me a general unit. My enemy brought I think he brought about 6 Carthaginian cav, 1 elephant general, 3 Libyan infantry, 3 Iberian swordsmen, and 3 late Libyan hops. Did he also bring 3 Samnite warriors? I think maybe he did. But, okay, here's my initial plan going into this battle. I was keeping my army a little close together. I wasn't planning on spreading cavalry out to the flanks because I wanted to keep my army relatively close together, and I wanted to just see what my enemy was planning first before I decided to spread any units out anywhere. So I was going to move up forward, and I was going to use this high ground to my advantage. I was going to hide my archers in the trees, made sure they get some protection from the trees, and tried not to go too far down into this flat hill because I wanted to use that high ground to my protection, to my advantage. So I'm going to be moving down my forces in a bit, and let's play it out. That was my initial plan, and we're going to see how that changes due to my enemy's actions, or due to my feelings of maybe I want the battle to go in a different way. This is how I think I'm doing battles a lot more like this now. I'm keeping my initial formation compact and together, and I move forward, and then I spread my formation to whatever I need it to be based on what my enemy is doing. I'm not sure if that's the best way, but it is a way, and it is a workable way to do it. Because you could always have your own formations, a special formation, just go out with your own plan, but you gotta watch what your enemy's bringing. My enemy brought a lot of infantry. He didn't bring any missile units, and that was a mistake. He didn't bring any missile units. Look at these cool Samnite warriors. All this infantry just standing here, waiting for the legions to come at them. But yeah, I was just setting my formations up and waiting to see what my enemy was doing with his formations and what kind of units he brought, and then I would form my army up dependently or accordingly. So I'm moving up forward and forward ahead, little bits. I'm trying to bait him in. I want him to come in because I want him to hit me up on this nice high ground, and I want my archers to still be in this protected foresty area. But I think it was about this time where I noticed he didn't actually have any archers at all, so I thought, well, this is lucky for me. And seeing this, I rethought my plans, and I decided to push out my archers a little ahead in front of the pack, because he may have a lot of cavalry that's fast and that could catch up with my archers, but I'm not going to put him too far ahead of my in front of my infantry. We're going to keep them nice and close together. I'm still going to try to keep some guys in the. No, I don't think I've noticed that he doesn't have missile units yet. Otherwise, I would have started to move them out in the flat ground. I think pretty soon I noticed that he just doesn't have any missile units, and I start bringing them together. Because right here, I'm still trying to use the forest to my advantage. I want to use it. Yeah, I'm moving him out. I noticed that he doesn't have any missile units, so I'm gonna move ahead, just see if I can pelt some shots onto his mercenary Samnites and his Libyan infantry, because they're the most dangerous ones on this field to my legions. And I see he doesn't have any missile units, so I just start to send out some of my Numidian cavalry out to the far flank over here. And we're gonna try to harass some of the flanks of his infantry and the flanks of his cavalry. And he's going to be sending out his Carthaginian cav out here to intercept my Numidians. But if I just pay attention, I will not be caught up by those Carthaginian calves. And he is moving ahead his whole army forward now. He is getting a little anxious, and I'm now pulling back my Syrian archers. I don't want to get them caught up in this melee brawl. But look at this. He maybe didn't think about what my auxiliary Numidians were doing, but they got right in the back, and I'm going right for his elephants. I want to take them out. And right here, I want to pin down his cavalry with my Praetorian cav. And he peeled off one of his Carthaginian calves to help protect his elephants from my Numidians, but man, these two Carthaginian calves versus the one Praetorian, he might win, I'm not quite sure, but he's not going to come out of this fight peachy clean. He's pulling those guys back a little bit. He's going to be backing up this fight with his mercenary Samnite warriors. He's moving ahead a little bit. He's moving these cavalry over here on the right flank to maybe come around and flank me from the back over here, but I move ahead my spearmen to just hold down this entire flank. I'm not going to... All my spearmen are going to be holding down this entire flank. I'm not going to spread them out to this one, because I think my cavalry have the right flank held down. I don't have to worry about that. Over here, we are starting to finally engage with our infantry, and it is a full-on infantry attack. We are all hitting together. We decided to attack. We are attacking with our spearmen up against his cavalry. And over here, our missile units and our Praetorians are just slaughtering his cavalry. His cavalry are all but destroyed. And pretty soon I notice I'm not fighting cavalry anymore with my Praetorians, so I'm going to pull these guys out pretty soon. Well, these couple of these Carthaginians got caught on my Numidians. I'm going to try to pull them back. Don't want to get them to get too hurt. But over here, he's not chasing my other Numidian cav, and I start to swing in like this. And I'm going to want to start peppering the backs of his African war elephants with my javelins. But he's peeling off another one of his mini Carthaginian cavalry to try to take out my Numidians, or at least scare them away. And he did that, so he succeeded in saving his elephants for now. Over here, his cavalry is he's smashing right through my spears, and I had my eye on other parts of the battlefield. That's why I wasn't able to catch these guys, and I let this bad micro mistake happen. He just got smacked on the sides of my Syrian archers, but now they're going through. They're going to be attacking these cavalry, and I'm going to try to take them out the best I can, as quick as I can. I'm using these gladiator spearmen over here to try to slow down these African elephants, because I don't want them joining up in this fight. I want the African elephants as far away as I can get them for right now. But we are starting to rout some of his infantry units. They are routing one by one. They are not having a fun time against my Roman legions, I can tell you that. These Praetorian guards are making mincemeat of these mercenary Iberian swordsmen. Over here, the entire flank over here has been dealt with. Do I have any more? I'm guessing my Praetorian cav got knocked out, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, these infantry must have took him out. And I'm going to start swinging around these Numidians. I'm not sure if they're out of ammo yet, but we're going to take these Praetorians, and we're going to meet up against these mercenary Samnites to make sure they don't cause any trouble. Over here, the cavalry just got completely around my back. I did a good job in protecting my legatus to make sure he didn't get messed up, but oh man, they're slaughtering my Syrian archers, and now the enemy elephants are trying to smack into the backs of my lines, but we got them berserked already, so they're not going to be no, they're not berserked anymore, but we had them berserked for a little bit, and he's doing his damnedest to take my archers out, but they're not going out quite as fast as he would like them to, and he's just pulling right through here to try to smack me in the back of these legionary cohorts. Over here, I'm sending in my Numidian cav to try to shatter these late Libyan hops. I don't want them to come back, and I know that's the best they can do right now. If I send Numidian cav against any of these other units, they would probably get more losses, so I'm just going to take them out here to try to make sure they don't come back. Over here, it's just a big mess, but things are looking pretty relatively well. These Evocati cohorts and these other Evocati cohorts are surrounding the Carthaginian cav. The enemy cavalry are all but destroyed. We've fucking surrounded them, knocked them out, and over here I'm gonna send a nice out. No, I didn't. I thought I gave a nice back charge with my legatus there. And now most of his infantry is gone. Everything's gone. His whole army has routed. All he has left is his elephants. These guys are broken. They're about to shatter. His elephants are just on a rampage, of just a suicidal rampage, but they're getting destroyed. The javelins from my infantry, my archers, wailing on them. They got their heavy shot on, just destroying these elephants. Oh boy, that was a slobber knocker. And we just took out this Carthaginian army. They are not dead yet. They are berserked. They are not dead yet. They're holding their own out now. Now they're gone. The battle is won. That was a fucking glorious battle. Slaughter, death all over the battlefield. And that was a good battle to showcase the goodness, I guess, of keeping a compact army together in the beginning of the battle and waiting and watching your enemy, see what kind of build he brought, see what he's planning, and then re-maneuver your army accordingly. Of course, I always like to bring balanced army. I always gotta bring something so that I'm ready for anything the enemy can bring at me. So I always gotta bring at least a couple of cavalry, at least a couple of missiles, at least a couple of spears, and a good amount of swords if I can. You know, you gotta change up those kind of thoughts when you're playing with like the horse factions or the Sparta or something like that. But yeah, I like to do that a lot more. I like to keep a compact army and then change the formation according to what my enemy is doing. Whenever I try to enter a battle initially with a plan and a formation, like for different units to be in different areas, maybe hidden in forests somewhere, I always get messed up. So I don't always get messed up. Sometimes it's victorious, but more times than not, I get messed up by my enemy's maneuvering and his counters to what I was planning. So I like to counter what my enemy plans a little bit better. Damn, 326 kills by these Praetorian Guard. They are definitely the MVP of this battle. They didn't even get that many deaths on their side either. My enemy just, his Iberian swords just fucking nothing. Those Libyan hops, nothing. That cavalry, nothing. His best unit was his war elephant, was his general war elephant, but not gonna do a lot of good if you're gonna get pelted by javelins and arrows the whole time. And he didn't bring any missile units to help counter my missile units or my Numidian cavalry. That's a big mistake on his part. That's why I don't like to bring armies without missile units, armies without spears, armies without cavalry, because then you're gonna be wishing you had missile units if your enemy brings a bunch of missile cavalry to start flanking you and knocking out your cavalry and your elephants. So you always got to be prepared for whatever situation you're going in. You got to be prepared to deal with whatever situation your enemy wants to bring at you. And I think that's a fun way to go about it. I'm your graphics rogue, and I will see you next time. Peace.